There it is, Karlov Manor. It's an eyesore. But what's an eyesore to a city blind? Blind to see what's in front of them. What's that, you ask? Bulk rare at best.
I see you found the manor as well, Moot. Didn't think I'd see you again after that stunt you pulled in Milwaukee.
In front of me was what was left of the Gatewatch. Broken man, an even worse excuse for a planeswalker. He smelled of alcohol and depression. Guess he really never got over Vraska. I wanted to tell him to eat a bag.
You know I can hear you, right?
What's up, Planeswalkers? The full release of Karlov Manor is right around the corner, so there is no better time than to take a look at Elesh Norn. Oh, she's not in the set?
That's too damn bad!
So for this viewer request, we have Elesh Norn, Mother of the Machines, a 1 white and 4 colorless 4/7 Phyrexian Praetor that doubles our enter the battlefield triggers and completely shuts off our opponent's ETBs. For a commander like this, there's really only one way to build around it, so today's deck is a mix between control, blink, and a splash of tokens. Either way, our opponents are not going to have a good time when half their cards stop working. Before I get started, if you have a commander you want to see in its own video, leave a comment or join our channel Discord. Starting off our creatures, we have Esper Sentinel, which when you're playing mono white, your 1-drops are very limited, and this can be a good source of early card advantage. Soul Warden for some life gain to keep us alive, and Charming Prince is great as we can use it to blink a creature or scry. Dauntless Dismantler, which we can make sure our artifacts our opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, and we can sack this card to blow up some of the problem cards. Deep Known Terramancer helps us keep up with any landfall decks. Knight of the White Orchid is another way for us to keep up with players ramping, or if we're lucky and we're not the player that went first. And it should go without saying, we're playing a lot of enter the battlefield text cards because our commander will double the effects. Loyal Warhound is very similar to the White Orchid Knight, only we have to find a basic plains in this case. Spirited Companion will draw us a card on ETB, not really much else to say about that card. Suture Priest is more life gain, and its second ability does turn off a couple of the infinite combos that make a bunch of tokens. Wall of Omens for more card draw. Fiend Hunter, which you can use a blink trick with this card to permanently exile the card that you target. Flicker Wisp is a classic piece in the blink strategy. Inspiring Overseer is another creature that'll draw a card on ETB. This time we'll get a flyer and some life for the extra mana. Lorn of the Third Path, which is just an amazing card as we can destroy an artifact or enchantment on ETB, and then we can get political by drawing cards with one of our opponents. Priest of Ancient Lore is Inspiring Overseer in a bald cap. Rumor Gatherer is another source of card advantage since we plan to blink our creatures. Skyclave Apparition is basically permanent removal for 4-drops and below as the tokens our opponents get out of it. We're really not worried about them, especially because our commander is a 4/7. Werefox Bodyguard is a flash speed prison effect for creatures. Bronze Beak Foragers is a prison effect that can hit any non-land permanent, and if we dump some mana into it, we can permanently remove those permanents. Elesh Norn has no ETB on the card, but the amount of damage that the Saga side of this card can dish out, especially when we play some of these token strategies, it's really good. And its static effect on just the creature side will actively win you games. Felidar Guardian is part of a combo, otherwise this is a blink effect on a creature. Importantly, it is instant blink, and we don't have to wait till an end step or upkeep for the creature to come back. Core Cartographer lets us search up for planes and put it on the battlefield with no strings attached. Preston, the Vanisher, will make us copies of the creatures we blink, plus we can cash in the tokens that they make to exile a non-land permanent. Restoration Angel is another combo piece similar to Felidar Guardian. It has the instant speed blink. Solemn Simulacrum for more lands, and the card you get when you chump block is always great. Revelant Hoplite can make us a lot of tokens, and with the Saga side of Elesh Norn, that double strike really comes in handy. It's one of our better finishers in our deck. Sun Titan, as its ETB, lets us return a 3-mana permanent of our choice, and the majority of our deck is 3 or under. Elesh Norn, Grand Cenobite is great when you're playing tokens, or even when you're not. If you're new, this card will grow your creatures and shrink your opponent's creatures, and a lot of decks can't function with it. Emeria Shepherd for some recursion, and of course, since most of our lands are plains, we'll get the permanent straight to the battlefield, and if we have our commander out, we'll get 2 permanents. Moonshaker Cavalry is our deck's big finisher, as the ETB on this card can make even a handful of creatures lethal, and with our commander and a blink spell, things get really crazy really fast. We do have a Planeswalker in the deck, and it's none other than the Eternal Wanderer. Its static ability makes it hard to deal with, as you can only attack it with 1 creature, and its uptick blinks an artifact or creature, pretty much exactly what we want to do. Plus the minus can be pretty backbreaking depending on the situation. Onto our spells, we have Cloud Shift and Ephemerate. Both are 1-mana blink spells, but Ephemerate will come with Rebound for more action. And line tutor, as we do have some powerful enchantments, and like I always say, tutors are a great way for improving the consistency of your deck. Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare are our 1 mana exile removal for creatures, and White Sun's Twilight is a board wipe if we pay enough, and it comes with an army. Airy Interlude for some mass blink, as we can blink any number of creatures we control. Generous Gift for some removal. Yes, you can play Stroke of Midnight here, they're pretty interchangeable, except I would say Stroke of Midnight is probably a little bit better. Savine's Reclamation for recursion, the Fairy's Protection in case we need to peace out for a turn, and Lae'zel's Acrobatics is another mass bounce spell, but if we roll high enough, we can get a double mass bounce instead, and 2 is better than 1. And finally, we have Wrath of God, because sometimes we need to pull the brakes, plus we can always blink our creatures until an end step or an upkeep, and board wipe, so when they come back, the board's empty and it's just our creatures. Now, onto our artifacts and enchantments, and of course, I'm going to be starting with the ramp. First, we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Pearl Medallion, and Archaeomancer's Map, which lets us play extra lands. Think of it like a burgeoning for white. Of course, though, our opponents have to have more lands than us. Now, for everything else, we have Blind Obedience to slow our opponents down and gain more life if we need to. Alter the Brood is a finisher. If we have the Infinite Blink combo assembled, we can mill out our opponents. Ossification is a prison effect on an enchantment, which you'll see we're actually playing quite a few of those. Blade of Cells, since if we can't blink it, then we'll just make some temporary copies. Grasp of Fate, this prison effect lets us take something from each opponent. Swiftfoot Boots to protect our commander, and trust me, we're really going to need to do that because a lot of people are going to want to remove her. Oblivion Ring, just a classic prison effect. Sword of Hearth and Home, which is a repeatable blink, and Ramp, which is perfect for us. Seal from Existence, this prison card comes with Ward. Golden Argosy is a vehicle that can blink the creatures that are piloting it, and remember, you can overcrew. Touch the Spirit Realm is one of the better prison enchantments we're playing, as we can also channel it to blink a creature. Panharmonicon, because what's better than 1 double ETB effect? 2. Seriously though, if we do actually manage to keep this card and our commander, things get really bad really fast for our opponents. Feldar Retreat, which can make us an army or grow the army that we already have, and in case you didn't know, Landfall is an ETB. Conjurer's Closet is a way for us to blink our creatures on end step. Smothering Tithe to tax our opponents, and if they don't want to pay the tax, then we get some extra mana, and we do have some expensive spells. Throne of Eldring, which I guess you could say is a mana rock, but at 5 mana, I consider this more of a card advantage engine. 3 mana, we can draw 2. Teleportation Circle is a cheaper Conjurer's Closet that can also blink artifacts, making it a little bit better. Blessed Sanctuary, so we can make an army of unicorns while blinking our creatures. And finally, Cathar's Crusade, so we have an excuse to bring a bag of dice and give up halfway through when we're trying to keep track of all the counters. In all seriousness though, any creature in our infinite blink loop will mean that a player's out of the game if they don't have a way to block that creature. For the Manabase, I'd recommend Plains, but of course if you'd like to copy a Manabase, then you can help yourself to the Manabase found in the deck list in the description of this video. My land recommendation for this deck is going to be Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, as this card can accelerate any monocolored deck with a high enough devotion, and of course we are doing that. For the combo section, I'll be going over our Infinite Blink combo. So for this combo, we need Felidar Guardian and Restoration Angel with Alter the Brood. To start, we'll need Alter and one of the 2 creatures on the battlefield. For this example, I have Felidar Guardian on the battlefield. We then play Restoration Angel and target Felidar Guardian. Since this is an instant blink, Felidar returns and targets the Angel, creating a loop of the 2 creatures. Alter will trigger each time these creatures enter the battlefield, making our opponents mill out their library. Now, there are more ways to win with this Infinite Blink combo, especially if our commander's out, because then we can start blinking other creatures for free as well. But that's something I'll leave for you to explore. That's going to do it for today's deck list. Let me know how I did, or tell me about your favorite mono white card in the comments below. And if you're looking for more content, I have a gameplay channel you can find in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.